Shout out Mr. Checkpoint. Hey, FTP. There's killers up in these streets. Always film the police. Gotta be our own keepers of peace. Gotta police the police. Gotta police the police.
Who gives you permission to open doors like that? You don't have permission to open doors like that.
Okay.
This is messed up. What the hell? I'm working right now. Like, this ain't cool.
What's up, bro?
Brother?
How you
What's
doing?
cracking? I'm blessed. Thanks for asking yourself.
I'm doing good. The Hood, what is it? What's your IG?
Hood Healer Angel.
Hood Healer Angel. I do like your IG.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. Likewise, man.
I like your whole vibe. I saw your video. I don't know how, and then you submitted it to Mrcheckpoint.com/submit. That gives us the ability to then review all these videos and then break them down, share them. So thank you for submitting it and then allowing us to share it. I guess before we watch the video, if you could just explain maybe like what city, some context, what someone's going to be watching, and where did you share it?
Okay. Yeah, it took place in the city of Gardena, California. I was inside my ProMaster, which is what I drive as a mail carrier when I deliver mail. And it was off of Main, and I believe 156th Street. So it was like on the corner. I was in my mail truck. And to sum it up, the highway patrol seen me, quote unquote, on my phone, but I was actually on my device, which is my scanner that I use for work. It does all these weird noises sometimes, so sometimes I have to turn it off just so it doesn't annoy me, etc. And I think she thought that I was on my phone when she pulled me over.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. So
and this was in Gardena, California?
Yeah, Gardena, California, off Main Street.
And this is while you're working on the clock?
On the clock. I have like all this mail that I'm like, I have to make at a certain time. I'm like, I gotta make sure it gets here at 1:30. This place has to be here at 3 o'clock, and this lady just held me back, man.
All right, let's watch the video, and then we'll break it down.
Cool.
For the vehicle, sir?
No.
No? Okay. I need to open the door so I can verify the VIN.
Hold on. Don't open my door. This is government property. You can't touch this. And you don't have permission to go inside. It's right here. You're more than welcome to do what you need to do, but you don't have permission to open the door like that. That was so illegal.
You have.
This is government property, and you just touched it.
Okay. I need to verify the VIN because this vehicle's not coming back to anything, which means it's not illegal.
Okay.
Maybe go vehicle.
Who gives you permission to open doors like that? You don't have permission to open doors like that.
Okay.
I can't believe you just opened my door.
Can I get your supervisor's phone number?
Oh my God. Can you come with me back to the office, please? This is Gardena, right? This is Gardena?
Yeah, this is Gardena.
Yeah. Can you come with me back to the office?
No, I can't come back to the office, so.
Okay, I have to go back to my office.
For the vehicle, sir?
No.
Like, dude, what? First of all, you're amazing. That's such a tense, scary thing. And you're just like really like standing your ground and you're like, yo, what are you touching? Like, that's powerful.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I would have known more at that moment, but I know for sure that nobody's allowed to touch that vehicle. It's a federal government vehicle starting off. She's a state government. So it's like, I found out all this stuff after, and it was like, damn, I could have probably pulled more triggers at her, but I was still kind of in shock, trying to keep my cool and not be so rude to her at the same time, knowing my position as just knowing how they can get.
Okay. All right, let's watch. There's part 2, right?
Yeah, so part 2 is kind of like another part that I had throughout the whole video. I wish I had the original still, but yeah, I'm ready for it.
All right.
I'm not sure if people understand what really went down right there. As she was pulling me over, I had another cop pass by, and they were just kind of like laughing. And that's why I kind of said, this ain't cool, man. Like, this is not cool. Like, I'm at work right now, and you guys are just passing by laughing at the fact that you see a mailman truck pulled over. And I'm like thinking to myself, well, you guys aren't going to help me out. Like, I'm trying to just go back to my job. They just drove on by. And that's why I was actually talking to them as that took place. I wasn't even talking to her. And they're like, oh, just follow and do what she says. And I'm like, well, I don't have what she's asking for. She's asking for registration. That's a federal vehicle. We don't carry registration with us. So she was just giving me a hard time with that stuff, man.
But something at the end of the video too that's super important, right? I think for the third part, when you put this, right? Okay.
You seen that?
Is that,
Yeah,
is that
yeah.
playing part 3? I'm not sure. If not, we should watch part 2. We should watch the part 2 again, the end of part 2.
Yeah, we can do that because it shows me
And
taking off my.
Because
Okay.
right there.
You see that?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So before seatbelt's on the whole time, boom, you take it off.
Right.
And then let's go to part 3.
Notice she didn't
Alright,
even
give me
see me
what I
take
have.
off my seat belt as I was searching for anything to provide to her. We eventually called my
That's messed up. I'm at
supervisor.
work right now, like,
My postmaster
I'm in
showed
a
up,
government,
and I had to
like,
sign a ticket because it was already written.
You're not wearing your seatbelt.
I just took it off right now as we were speaking.
Um,
Did you not see that?
you didn't take it off. You're not wearing it.
I had it this way, but I flipped over to,
Oh, okay.
yeah. You're kind
And
of,
then the sooner I get the information, the quicker I can get you.
okay, the VIN number's right
You're not
there.
helping me.
I'm trying to help you,
I'm,
but-
I'm asking you for the registration. Every vehicle is supposed to have registration in it. Even my vehicle has registration in it. Mine's a
Okay.
government vehicle. So
It's-
that's all I'm asking is for the bare minimum.
I don't have that.
Because I run the VIN and the VIN doesn't come back to anything. And it's got no plates on it, so that doesn't help.
Oh man. So you see that ticket.
Well, and what was that ticket for?
Fortunately, I mean, she didn't give me a ticket for not having my seatbelt on because I would have been way more pissed off. For not having the proper, I was very honest with that lady. You know, I haven't changed my address. I still have my grandmother's address. I should have just said it was my address, but she asked me if that was my address on my ID. I said not anymore. So she gave me a ticket for that. She gave me a ticket for having my cell phone in my hand, which as I stated was not my cell phone. It was my scanner for work. And I was already I didn't want to sign the ticket. And I had to call my postmaster. They took about a good 45 minutes to show up after the scene. And I told them what took place. And they're just like, well, you know what? Just sign the ticket and we'll get this taken care of later because you need to go do your job. And I was like, well, I don't want to sign it. But I kind of had to do it for my job. And now I'm dealing with this in the long run, been going to court. The fine is about $300, I believe, for having my phone in my hand. So I'm trying to fight that. My next court date is on November 29th of this month at the Compton Courthouse.
Do you have someone helping you fight that?
I'm actually searching for someone. I've had people offering me. Yeah.
Let me I'd be happy to like talk to some people to represent you for that. You know what I mean? And there's a handful of lawyers that, you know, are in the community and want to help these kind of situations. So like, let's talk offline about that specifically, because definitely you should get someone in there that's representing you to get that whole thing dismissed, you know? So like when we recap this video, it's like, wait, what happened? Dismissed, you know,
Exactly.
should never have happened. How were you filming? Because that's a bunch of TikTok stuff and edited videos, right? That you must have done after. How were you filming that when you were pulled over?
I placed my phone on the steering wheel, like in front of me. And I wish, like I said, I lost the phone that I had I dropped it in water, so all the videos the original video I had, it no longer exists. And it kind of sucks because I was like, damn, I was looking for it because I wanted to just show that whole video. But unfortunately, I don't have it no more because I wanted to keep that for my actual court date. But I guess I got to work with what I have now.
I see. Wow.
Yeah, I never updated my iCloud.
And you were filming just from like, are you on any kind of social media live, or you were just like from the lock screen, or?
Yeah, from my lock screen. Because I already know, in my mind, I was like, I'm at work right now. So I can already feel she's going to give me a hard time. Like, why are you going to pill? I mean, I'm not saying I'm anybody better than anybody, but starting off, like you see, I'm working. Why are you going to mess with somebody that's doing a service?
I never seen the postal truck pulled over personally.
It threw me off because when I heard the sirens, I was like, oh, someone's just getting pulled over. And I'm like, wait a minute, she's behind me. So I'm thinking maybe she's probably trying to get around me. So I kind of move around and then she slows down behind me. And I'm like, oh, she's pulling me over.
Are you still working with the post office?
Yeah, I've been there for about 8 years. Interestingly, side note, I was just assaulted the other day at work. So I'm off on some other stuff right now.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, man. It's a stressful job.
Yeah, man, I feel that. I'm sorry to hear that. Have you met anyone or heard of anyone that knows anyone who has been pulled over and cited as a work?
I've Googled some scenarios. There was this, not pulled over technically. The only one that I did see is when this carrier in New York was working, and they put him in handcuffs for, I think, jaywalking. That's just about as much that I've seen with any other scenario.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, do you wish you had done anything differently? I mean, you said you wish you kind of known your rights a little more, but like anything specifically you said or done, or?
Like I said, I wish I would have stated that we don't carry our registration with us. Because I mean, she was just thinking there's a lot of things I wish I could have said, but I didn't. I wanted to say, you fucking bitch, just get the fuck away from me. But
No, so okay, I'm glad you said it. And I want to use truly, like, this isn't just about showing videos and whatever, but like really using it as an opportunity to like how we can all learn, right? And how we can all, and I feel you on what you just said, but I really want to, we got to be mindful on how we speak with police, right? So number one thing I say is always film the police, right? Always film the police. The reason we're always filming is because if the worst thing happens, you have court, right? Now, take it to the furthest level on the worst thing happening, there's going to be a jury that hears what's going on, right? And when that jury, which is typically old white people who are retired and bored and typically think that whatever a police officer says is the truth.
Right.
And how could a police officer ever say anything? And why? What? They would never say anything that couldn't be true. Yeah. Those are typically the people right now who are jurors. And so when they hear a video of someone being like, you F and B, this, that, and the other, they lose all sympathy. And these are just humans listening to stories, right? But when you're like, no, man, yes, sir, thank you, but you're still exercising your right, that becomes, I believe, like, and it's just my opinion, I'm not a lawyer, but it's just the most powerful. And I think it's also most important to say, this is why I think we all should do jury duty, right? You've had your experience with the officer. When you get that jury duty summons, don't be like, how do I avoid this? You'll be like, no, I need me and all my boys and everyone who's ever seen my video to want to be jurors, because they should know how cops really are. If everyone in the community wanted to do it, really, like, every day, those outcomes could be different for people in real life right now. Mm-hmm. So I say that just to say, like, you want to say F off and all this, but being polite, being respectful, and the other thing is we have to comply. You're pretty like, what, opening my door? Like, for me personally, again, if the cop says get out of the car, even if I've done nothing wrong, I'm going to listen to him. I personally am going to listen. And I think really we all should comply physically with what cops say, because they have the gun. if you get into a hustle, whatever,
Hmm.
you're always going to be in the wrong, always, because officer safety is more important than anyone's life, any of our lives, period.
Right.
That's why they could shoot us while running away, because they don't know if you hit the corner, what you have on the corner. It's a safety issue. I can kill you because of that. And so with
Right.
that said, we got to comply with their orders, even if, and we can be like, no, and we can exercise where you can't search. I'm not giving you permission to search. I'm not answering questions. I'm gonna be silent.
Mhm.
But also like stepping out, and I'm just thankful it didn't go worse for you, you know, because you were like standing your ground, which is important. You know,
Yeah.
it's needed as well.
And thank you. I mean, I tried my best just to follow through with what she was saying, but like I stated on the video, I was like, I don't have what she's asking for. What more do you want me to do at this point? I tried showing her my VIN number. You know, I have the number behind my vehicle, and she wasn't really following through with that. So,
I know she
you know,
wanted, and the seatbelt thing.
yeah, it's like you were just kind of looking for something to
That's
search
what
for.
cops do. They
Yeah,
pull you over. How can I write the most amount of tickets? How can I lock you up? Oh, I see. Is there anything in the back? I mean, that's the unfortunate thing is
yeah,
cops are put in a position to, let me pull you over for tent and let me find a way to take you into prison and make you in the system. And they're doing a good job at it. And so that's why it's important that we have these convos, film the police.
always film
How
the
can
police.
people always film the police? Why? What made you film? Was it just like in general seeing videos or anything in particular?
General seeing videos. You know, I did know about always film the police. I didn't know that you ran it, but that phrase in my mind, just like always film the police, is kind of what always went. It crossed my mind as well while I started pulling out that camera, because like you stated, I was at work, man. I was like, well, I want to have some evidence for obviously my job to show them that I was being pulled over and why I was getting pulled over. But it carried on to a whole nother scenario with her asking for this registration and then my seatbelt situation, because she could have easily gave me that seatbelt ticket and I could have just showed up with no evidence as well to my job.
Crazy. It's amazing you did. It's amazing. Not you just filmed it, but then you shared it, right? And then open to talking about it. Like, this is exactly the steps that we need to take. And so I really thank you for your time. How can people support you? You could drop your Instagram again. You sell crystals and stuff, or what's going on?
Yeah, I do tarot card readings. I wire
No.
wrap crystals here and there. I've kind of been taking a break for that within the past year, but my main get down has been tarot card reading. Interestingly, I've done some tarot card pulls for this whole situation. So, I mean, it's kind of interesting to me that it's happening. I already know she's not going to win anything, but it's like, that's a whole nother situation. But yeah,
Right.
I do tarot. I like to help out the community with just a comfort mindset whenever people are dealing with things personally. I could have been stressing out with what I'm going on, but I know tarot cards have helped me out on a personal situation, when it comes to personal things on that behalf. I've been doing
love
it for
that.
about a decade now. So
Damn.
yeah, no.
Well, I like your vibe. I'm going to keep supporting, following, and then let's follow up. I'm going to make sure that there's a lawyer, whether you find them or we can connect you, that there's a lawyer that represents you on that day. Cause I don't care how much laws I know. I'm a big believer that lawyers help
Of
100%.
course.
And let's get this thing dismissed and then do a follow-up video. And yeah, bro, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Shout out Mr. Checkpoint. Hey, FTP. There's killers up in these streets. Always film the police. They keep feeding us to the beast. Always film the police. They kill us up in these streets. Always film the police. Gotta be our own keepers of peace. Gotta police the police. Gotta police the police.